principal scientist working in the Indian Council of Agriculture Research Institute, Central Plantation Crop Research Institute. Now, within another about another 30 minutes, I will be talking about coconut production and value addition. As you are aware of that, coconut is a major crop growing world across. If you are seeing that India and Indonesia, Philippines, it's the most dominated countries as far as the production and the productivity is concerned. In India, if you are seeing that that coconut is it is grown along the west coast and east coast, starting from Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha. However, interior part also, in the other part also nowadays, even we can say that non-traditional area also it is growing, taken up. But the question is that in order but the question is that as far as the whether next slide is visible, madam? Madam?
One second.
Next, just to you see that whether I
Yeah,
next slide is visible, no?
Yeah.
Okay. But if you are seeing that national average as well as research station, that potential, there is a wide gap is there. Even though there is a potential, pre-potential yielding more than 400 nuts. That is means not a micro, as an ordinary, that nut is having more than 150 gram copra. But if
Dr.
you are seeing
Subramanian,
that, yes, madam.
Can you little bit zoom it, make it bigger?
Slide.
The slide, yeah.
Then this is the maximum, madam.
Oh,
right. I will see that. Yeah. I will do. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, it has become too bigger. Little slow.
Okay.
Little more. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
But if you are seeing that national average and research station potential, even we can see that our CPCR, where under well-managed condition, it is giving more than 175 nuts per farm. But even then, if you are seeing that potential, it is more than 300. There is that, so from that you can see that a lot of wide gap. Why it is happening? First of all, we should see that what is the ideal site for growing coconut. That if you are seeing that your rainfall distribution should be more than 130 to 230 centimeters. But here, most important factor is that not only quantity matters, distribution. So more distribution, the growth will be more, productivity will be more. The temperature should be optimum temperature. What we can see that that mean both minimum and maximum temperature. If you are seeing that 27 degrees Celsius plus or minus 5, and the soil, if you are seeing that it's mostly preferring neutral to little bit higher side acidic, as well as more than 7.5. But still, if you are seeing that acidic soil also, even up to 5 also you can find out with proper management. But the most important thing is light, solar light also it's having should have more than 120 centimeters. That's what the coconut is always perform better naturally. Otherwise, I can say the coconut is a natural crop along the coastal side. As far as the India is concerned, most it is coming very nicely west coast because of that rain, the rainfall received. That makes the difference. West coast, if you are seeing that average is more than 3,000 mm, whereas east coast, if you are seeing the average is 1,000. So that makes a difference. So temperature as well as rain is more important. So and another thing that if you are that altitude wise, if you are seeing that more towards coastal, the performance will be better. More interior, because away from the coastal, the productivity will be lesser. Even suppose if your productivity getting higher, mean to achieve that higher level, you have to put your lot of efforts. Say example, if you are saying Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu area, though they are getting more yield, but the thing is, it is interior. The farmer has to put more input in terms of production, the inputs, the protection aspect he has to take care. Whereas in the coastal area, it's a naturally, so he is put to manage, optimum manage itself is very good yield. So that the ideal is that up to 600 meter mean sea level is the ideal one. Even the report says that 100,000 equator level, it's better. But this is the normal. And most importantly, the soil depth, because since it's a monocrop and fibrous root system, ideal soil depth is much important. Not only that productivity in terms of sustainability, especially in the field of changing climate with more times of cyclone. So the roots, because of hybrid system, it should be proliferate enough so that it can can be protected from natural calamities. So that soil depth also much important. So that's what I explained. Then first and foremost is that we have to select the varieties based on your recommendation. So as you are aware of that coconut, three types we can see: that tall varieties, hybrid variety, tall and dwarf, and cross between this tall and dwarf, it will be hybrid varieties. So if our idea is the normal condition means tall, will perform better, normal optimal management, even adverse conditions also, tall varieties are perform better. Whereas the dwarf variety is mostly it is meant for uh, a tender nut purpose. It require more care. So that, but in the case of hybrid varieties, cross between these two, it perform well where you are having that taking that giving inputs, optimum inputs you have to give. So accordingly, suppose if you are going for commercial large scale, where we can go for hybrid. But again, it's depending upon the soil as well as in general. Tall varieties, a normal farmer, if he want to have optimum management, let him go for tall varieties. Suppose if you want to go for commercial, we can go for hybrid varieties. And more specifically, if you are going for tender nut purpose, you can go for dwarf varieties. But the thing is, when you are going for dwarf varieties, you have to go for in commercial mode. Then that means you have to be always take care. Then only it can survive. Otherwise, as a normal farmer means we have to go for tall varieties only. And even that depending upon your making, whether it is oil purpose or some other product diversification purpose, also it require. Accordingly, also we can select varieties. So these are all the varieties actually released from CPCRI: tall varieties, hybrid varieties, and dwarf varieties. Then first and foremost, anyway, almost most of the people will be knowing, but the selection of seedlings are more important because since it's a perennial, once it is planted, it can be in the field of more than 60 years. So that we how to be take enough care as per the selection of seedlings are concerned. So even little bit of time also, that doesn't matter, but you have to give maximum importance for selection of seedlings, and you have to always buy seedlings from known person or assured what we can say government agencies, like that authentic source only we have to get the seedlings. Otherwise, what will happen? Once you planted the seedling, the effect will be knowing after 4 or 5 years. So by the time, if the seedlings are not performing well, it is too late to change. So that even if it will be take mind, doesn't matter. We have to always procure seedlings from the known source, or otherwise you as a FEO in the farmer participatory model, you can have as a group in the locally itself, you can select varieties, or you can procure seedlings from known government agencies or authentic source. On any account, you should not purchase the unknown person, because by the time when we come to know the real quality, if it is performed better, it's okay. Otherwise, we cannot go back. We have to remove. The thing is, after thinking that is selection of variety and putting sowing, we have to see seedlings. In normal case, we are telling that 1 year old seedlings are preferred. So that you have to ensure that the person who is giving this, whether it is 1 year old. This is a normal situation. So 1 year old means the leaf should be having, I'm talking about tall varieties, not tall as well as the hybrid. It should be having at least 5 to 6 leaves. And you can see that splitting of that new leaf, the splitting should be there. So that means early splitting means, here splitting means the splitting of leaflets. The leaves turn into leaflets. That is also more important. The petiole should be short and higher galliger, more than 10 centimeter. That will be, it's an ideal seedling. So normal case, we are recommending 1 year old seedlings. But some farmers, sometimes some other area where it is cyclone prone area, some of the farmers, they are adopting 9-month-old also, even 6 months. But the question is why we are telling a 1-year-old seedlings. In the case of tall varieties, tall as well as hybrid, when the seeds are put into germination, normally it will take for germination 3 to 5 months. So after 5 months only first leaf, second leaf will come. That time we may not be knowing whether it is a very good seedling or not. So first one is correct time of germination, 3 to 5 months. That is the first indication. So within 5 months it has to be germinated. Otherwise you have to discard. Then after that we have to wait another 5 more months. Then only we will be knowing that this is a good seedling. But here the question is that discarding ungerminated nets is ruled out when you are purchasing the seedling from the outside agency. Suppose if you are having your own nursery, then we can go. So that we are not aware of that. So once we are purchasing from like that, so that for that only we are telling that you have to go for 1-year seedling. But as I told earlier, some of the farmers in some of the area, in order to protect from that, especially Tamil Nadu area, when they are planting, it's normally it's always coincide with high wind velocities. To avoid that, they are going for 8 or 9 months. Then for the benefit of nursery people also what they will do, they will sell at the earliest when they can dispose, and that within 7 or 8 months we cannot be able to differentiate whether it is a good or not, because almost all are same. That real things will be knowing after 8 months. So they also try to dispose after 8 as early as possible. So this we have to very be taking care. Then the most important thing is that ideal spacing. The ideal spacing, what we are telling square system is 7.5, 7.5 meter. But what we are telling preferably we can go for 8 meter, 8 meter. This one thing we have to ensure that if a farmer is going for intercropping, it is always go for wider spacing. And one more thing I would like to emphasize that better we can give choice for wider spacing. Means even the present situation, we should have more number of crops. So cropping system, instead of a coconut as a monocrop, we have to go for as a coconut based cropping system approach. But the question is that when you are going, when you are adapting 8 meter spacing, then what will happen? You cannot grow intercropping throughout the time. That time, because the initial 5 years, the light is available. Then after 5 years, what will happen? The light availability will be very low. Then by the time when the tree age is progressing, the stem height also increasing. So that the most advantage is coconut is unbranched single stem. So that when the height is increasing, again the light availability to the ground level will be increasing. So after 20 years, again the light availability under the ground level, it is increasing. So that the first stage, initial 5 years, and the second stage 5 to 20 or 18 years, are the when the palm kite is the trunk height is 6 to 6.5 meter. That time the light availability is very low. So that's why normally we are not adopting any recommending for any intercross. But after 18 years, by this time the height is increasing, so that light is availability is more than 50%. So we can go for intercropping. So first stage 5 years, so that we can go for either annual or biennial, or the cross which can be able to complete life cycle within 5 years we can go. On any account that during initial you should not go for perennial as intercrop along with coconut when you adopted spacing at a spacing of 7.28 meter. The perennial intercrop can be grown after 20 years only. Suppose if a farmer is interested, want to go for nowadays even wanted to go for perennial, either nutmeg or sapota or mango, those things from the initial period on, that is simultaneously when you once you have taken coconut planting, in that case wider spacing should be adopted at least 10 meter. Then you can go for simultaneously coconut and perennial crop. On any account, if your spacing is 8 meter, less than 8 meter, you should not go for perennial as an intercrop simultaneously. That should be taken after 20 years only. If you are going, means neither you won't get intercrop yield nor coconut. Both will be affected. So please, we have to take very care. Then next one is pit making. Those here also very, very important. Here also most of the time people are making mistake that nowadays changing climate change, a cyclone. Because of that reason, the things are making what I can say that more difficult for coconut farm. So that all these things, this is the fundamental aspect, especially selection of varieties, seedlings, because these are all the one-time affair. That in the initial stage. Once means then we cannot rectify. So that we have to take a thing thoroughly and we have to plan accordingly. So pit size also very, very important, and method of pits also very, very important. If your soil is having well-drained soil, no problem, and depth is 1 meter, that is the normal method. You can see that 1 by 1, normal means what I'm selling the loamy soil, where drainage is not a problem. Loamy soil, because clay, silt, and sand should have a equal proportion. In that soil, your water holding capacity, everything is fine. No drainage is a problem. Because if it is a drainage, then we have to go for another method of planting. So if it is this normal soil, we have to make 1 meter, but 1 meter we have to make a pit, preferably before when you would like to take a planting before 1 month, you have to take up planting. Then what you have to do, always please ensure that when you are taking pits, nowadays most we are using that JCP only, and you have to advise the JCP person, the first packet he has to take one side. Say example, first packet, the top soil he is taking means that he has to put one side, left side or right side. Then below depth, what I'm telling, top 30 centimeter soil should be put one side, and below that opposite side, because after taking that 1 meter, 1 meter, 1 meter pit, then again we have to fill with the top soil. So here we have to ensure that we have to fill the top soil only, because by mistake we are putting in the bottom soil, then the purpose of the pit making nearly 50% will be defeated. So please ensure that the top soil should be only placed in the pit. So open a pit, top soil put separately, bottom soil put separately. Bottom soil you can make it for side bunt. That's around the bunt, bottom soil you can make it, but the top soil you have to put first. But before that, in the normal, in that loamy soil, you can put husk, coconut husk, 1 or 2 layer. I think you can see that that husk we have to put. Then over that you have to apply top soil. Then you can possibly, if you are having little bit amount of the well rotten farm manure, mix it, even phosphorus also we can put it. Then center we have to make it baby pit. There you have to plant it. So immediately you have to irrigate. Then please ensure that wherever that wind velocity is higher area in some part of Tamil Nadu or Andhra, even Kerala also, or by most of the coconut growing regions, what we have to ensure that if wind velocity is higher, what you have to make it here, this side, both side we have to put one stick, then you have tied, so that the ceiling should not be oscillated, because the spindle leaf, if it is broken, means that will invite bud rot disease. So that please ensure that the ceiling should be protected. And another one more point also, when it is open, if it is an open condition, you have to give shade. So northeast side you have to put shade, because you have to protect the ceilings from the sunlight from 11 to 2 o'clock. So accordingly, you have to see that northeast side, put a shade, so that 11 to 2 o'clock light won't be affecting your ceiling. This is the normal method. And most importantly, this is the most important point, because of late, if you are seeing that the initial slide, what are the ideal conditions for coconut condition, but most of the farmers, they are not adopting, but still they want to, though the conditions are not favorable, still they want to go for coconut because of that its own unique nature. This is the only crop it can give income throughout the year. Even if it is a loss also, the money circulation, it will ensure anytime if you want some amount, coconut will come. Whether it is profit loss, that comes next. Whereas if you are buying other perennial crop, that is seasonal. But coconut throughout the year. That is the reason even farmers also, they are fully aware that even the soil is not fit, conditions are not favorable, still they are going for coconut mint because of that. So for that farmers, I'm advising that whenever normally more clay, more unsuitable. But still, once upon a time paddy field, it is converted into now coconut field. But please ensure that first of all, I'm against converting paddy field to the coconut or like that, similarly high clay soil. But if you are going that, you ensure that the drainage you have to ensure. So for that, what I am telling that we have to make a mount type structure, platform type structure. So here coconut needs one cubic meter platform. So here what we can do, we can take a pit, not like pixie, like some clay soil where waterlogging is there. What we have to do, we have to make even what I'm doing in between the two. First you have to peck mark 10 meter, 10 meter. Then the center of the two rows, you scrap with the scalp of a JCP, you scrap the soil up to 1 feet. Then you put it this coconut where you are going to planting coconut taking. Either you can put like it's a mount type, at least 2 meter, 2 height you can make. Then another process everything 2 to 1. I'm sorry, 2 meter, 2 meter, 1 meter, at least 60 centimeter height from the ground level. So that planting everything, it can be directly, it is attached to the that ground level. Otherwise, what will happen when during monsoon season, your waterlogging will be happening. Then roots will be trying to come outside during monsoon season. Then when summer season, again the roots will be trying to establish in the below surface side. So what is happening? Much of the energy will be lost because of the changing, shifting, that drying and waterlogging. So roots will be coming top, drying. Then when it's monsoon season, again will serve. So that instead you give that waterlogged condition, the drain, well aerated condition we have to give. That way you can go for where the soil condition is very, very important. Then another thing is, as you are aware of that, water and nutrition that will decide whether things. The thing is, you have to take care of coconut from the beginning. Of course, all farmers, they will be interested. Farmers who will be commercial, naturally they will give irrigation, because irrigation, without irrigation, the farm won't survive. Then I'm changing climate conditions, and even sometimes very well-known areas that well-known areas in the sense even West Coast area where the assured rainfall 3000 mm. There also now we are accommodated with the drought condition. So it is drip irrigation is the need of the hour. But the question is, most of the time we are miserably failing as far as the drip irrigation concerned. It is not fault with the drip irrigation system. It is the problem with the execution of the system. As far as the drip irrigation is concerned, execution is more important, not just implement. Because most of the farmers, what they are thinking that once installing drip irrigation means then there will no need of maintenance. No. Actually, drip irrigation requires less maintenance, not no maintenance. So what we have to ensure that every week clear, and daily we have to see that whether it is water clogged, everything. So wherever good that your water is free from salt, means absolutely no problem, no clogging will be there. But wherever salt is there, salt incrustation will be there. So there you have to ensure that you have to wash the tubes with the acid treatment, so that clogging won't come in the way of irrigation. That is very, very important. Then another most important, those slides are not visible. What I'm telling, you have to ensure that from the trunk, say majority of the roots are confined to 2 meter radius. Say from the trunk, this is the trunk. This will be from here 2 meter radius, the roots are there. In that, what we have to do, we have to put 4 dripping points. We have to ensure that. Means 1 meter away, 1 point, another 1 meter, equilateral 1 meter. Here you can see 1 meter. There also, we should not go for surface irrigation. People, what they used to tell in the name of drip irrigation, again, especially I observed that in Coimbatore area, just they will tie along the trunk. From there, it will be like water, water instead of micro dripper or micro tubes, water will be directly flown from the taps. So that is not drip irrigation. We can say that tap irrigation or close basin irrigation. But again, that is not the purpose of the drip irrigation. But it is better than your flood irrigation. But still, what I will tell you that you have to go for this. But here we have to see ensure that water should not be given the surface soil. Instead, we have to make 1 feet, 1 feet depth pits you have to make. There again you have to put 1 tube. Here what we have used, that old used that drip laterals, 1 feet we have broken. then we have to insert here slanting position. In that we have to put either micro tube or tube. Even one more thing, I would recommend that you can have 2 or 2.5 inch PVC pipe, 1 feet height. You can insert here. That will be still is best. Then always that drip irrigation, whatever it may be, your land should be covered with mulching. So that will ensure free from weeds. That will save rigorous water. So actually, we are recommending drip irrigation when you are going for monocropping. That means only coconut, only you are going drip irrigation. Then another thing is that this also I would like to emphasize more important. The purpose of drip irrigation is water saving. So depending upon that, how you will be deciding based on the evaporation, evapotranspiration. So accordingly, we have to give. That also vary with the evaporation. Say example, West Coast under Kasaragod condition, the daily evaporation is 4 mm, where you require per palm it is 32 liters is sufficient. Whereas your evaporation is 8 mm. Some of the places 8 mm will be there. There it will be the water requirement will be more than 100 liters per day. So it is all depending upon the evaporation. That way you have to give. But still, some people what they are doing that even by the drip irrigation also they are giving more water. Even though it is 50 to 70 liters, normal case they are recommended, they are giving 200 liters. That also dangerous because too much of water, again flooded condition, even what will happen downward flow movement of water, it will take not only your water, it will take that whatever the nutrient soluble, that will be also taken below the root zone. Because as I told, coconut is having a more fibrous root system and the depth of roots it's only 1 meter. Below 1 meter, it cannot, most probably it won't go. Whereas the taproot system, it can go as many meters as possible. But as far as the coconut is, it will prefer laterally, not vertically. So more water in waiting. We may be thinking that more water I will be getting very good till. Absolutely not. So please ensure that correct type of irrigation and don't give on any account more amount of water, because that will do more harm than good. But whereas in case, suppose as I told now, with some farmers they are now in the changing climatic conditions, they are in, we have to go for crop diversification, and some farmers they prefer that coconut plus perennial crop intercropping system from the beginning onwards, as I told. In that case, they have to go for wider spacing. Suppose if we are going for coconut based cropping system approach, growing more crops per inch, in that condition, you can go for FEFO irrigation. It is nothing but some sort of a sprinkler irrigation. You can see where it is, this area fully is covered by soil. So in that condition, we can go for FEFO irrigation or things. If it is not covered, it is a monocrop, then you have to go for drip irrigation. Then the next question comes intercultivation. Once if the crops are establishing, whether we can go for tillage, because some people are telling that whether you need not go for flowering. See, any techniques, it is always having plus and minus. It is the technology, how you are going to adapt the purpose and depending upon the location. Say example, tractor flowing is not recommended when your soil is slopey like Kerala. There it is not possible. So there we cannot go. And some areas intercropping is that it's not possible. But monocropping, naturally, you have to go for flowing. Then also people will tell that I'm interested only natural farming. But the question is that once your area is fully, the thing is it should be free of weeds. That is the advantage. And another thing is that every year 2 tillage is required. But here also some people are giving repeated tillage in order to keep their garden very clean. That is not at all advisable and not at all recommended. In general, two plowing is more than sufficient. That too, the timing, that immediately after the receipt of the monsoon, that time what will happen, soil so that you have to plow that, so that it can conserve that whatever the soil moisture. Then that time it will be making some aeration also. Then towards the end of the monsoon, that time only. So then again also break the forces, so that again it's moisture, then it controls weeds. On any account, when your soil is a flooded condition, you should not make any tillage operation. So tillage should be done under optimum moisture condition, less than what I can say, that up to 50% soil moisture availability. Don't go for under full field capacity or not a dry condition. And you please ensure that your tractor should not go close to the basin. That is, on any account, you should not cause any damage to the trunk. If you are unknowingly or unknowingly did any mechanical injury to the trunk, then automatically you are inviting the problem for your red palm beetle as well as rhinoceros beetle. Especially red palm beetle, what will happen? It require some mechanical injury to enter your coconut palm. Once because it cannot enter on its own, it requires some mechanical injury, some way. So through, in the name of tractor plowing, some people, what they very close, they want to keep their field is very free from weeds, very neat and clean, even some very closely. So I am requesting that on any account nearer the, at least you leave 1 meter from the trunk, you plow it. Then on any account, don't go for glyphosate, because because I have across when visited across the coconut growing regions, some of the areas people are going repeated spraying of glyphosate. That is also not at all recommended. Some farmers, if they are going natural farming, means please ensure that you can through fresh cutter you make it once meeting, so that will ease making easier for your operational purpose also. So these are the very important things. Now next one is, here only most of the people they are not taking care, because water anyway, because for the survival of the palms, without water palms won't survive, but without nutrient palms may survive to some extent. So that the farmers, they may not take care, or whoever may not take care for nutrition. Most of the people take care of nutrition once the palm started flowering. That is the wrong thing. Coconut farm is like a human thing. Like we nowadays, education purpose means that initial nursery time, it's cost more than that after 6th. So coconut also is very important. The initial 5 years periods are more important as far as the nutrients is concerned. The time you planted, what is happening, if it is a polybag seedlings, means you can start simultaneously for nutrient management. If it is not polybag seedlings, means that is field sown nursery, means once you after planting, it will take 3 months for establishing roots. So there you can start for nutrition after 3 months onwards. So that please you take care of that from the beginning, because coconut is the only crop. It doesn't have any critical period for water as well as nutrient. From the day begin 1 till the death of the palm, you have to ensure, even I can say 365 days, you have to ensure. Why I'm telling 365 days? You cannot notice any other crop, whether throughout the day, 365 days, you can get a fresh coconut. That means the production, reproduction phase as well as vegetative phase is going simultaneously in coconut only. So that means it requires care throughout the period. So please ensure things. It is always any nutrition you have to go based upon not near your farmer or other region, because each and every region it is differs. Climatic condition differ, soil condition differ, even within a area. Even I can say within 1 kilometer area, soil type is different. So please, I'm telling that farmers, friends, don't go for nutrition. Or nowadays, what is happening? So many things people are dumping, that purchasing and putting without the knowledge of coconut. You are dumping so many materials. Please don't do this. In order to exploit the coconut palm, most of the people, whatever that market is available, even so many persons are coming. If you are putting root feeding, your coconut will be yielding. Yes, whatever the nutrition, whatever the things, once you are applying, coconut will respond. But please mind, actually what will happen, any new things, it will respond. But after continuous means it's a problem because it is a perennial. Once you plant, sometime what will happen, initial 2 times it will respond. Then after 3rd or 4th time, it will do harm thing. So don't go for the manure, whatever things, the so-called marketing side, please don't purchase. What purchase means without authentic sources, what it contains, what is the material it is inside. Without that, please. Madam, slides are visible.
No, not it. Yeah, no, no. You can stop your camera. Maybe internet will work properly. Yeah.
Is it visible?
Yeah, it is visible.
On Zoom, I will be. That's what I didn't attend now. Again, it's connection. I will call you later.
Is it okay, ma'am?
Yeah, it is okay.
Okay, then I will call you. Huh? Sureka. Sureka. That nutrient, it has gone somewhere else, one slide, particular slide, whether it is opened some other, one particular slide.
Same PPT or a different?
Same only, okay, I'll see that.
Which sections?
1 minute. One slide, I don't know why it is gone. Okay, no problem. That finally I stopped that nutrient management.
Nutrient management. Then up.
It is not there. Before, after this, I don't know how it. Okay, no problem. So that's why, whether I am audible and visible, madam?
Yes, you are visible, you are audible.
Okay, okay. So as far as I continue my earlier thing, the nutrient management is very important from the day coconut planted, and most importantly, organic manure, its application is must. I will say that 75% organic manure and 25% chemical fertilizer. And chemical fertilizer you should go for based on a soil test only, not arbitrarily you have to go. So once in 3 years soil testing is must to get based on your soil type, you can get the higher productivity. And most importantly, drip irrigation will be best, so that as I told that through drip irrigation you can go for fertigation also. And fertigation, please don't go for liquid fertilizer, because as far as the coconut is concerned, it's a perennial. So that phosphorus, once it is soil, means it is highly immobile. So that is phosphorus, even if you are going to give for liquid fertilizer, it will be again converted into immobile, then only mobile. So that there is no meaning to go for liquid fertilizer as far as the coconut is concerned. Maybe that is good for annual crops, but perennial crop better you can go for nitrogen and potash. That means urea and potash. That is more suitable. Not only the thing is economic point of also, it is cheaper. Then that number of frequency you can go for as when you are going with drip irrigation. Depending upon the condition, if it is rain is very less, under 12 months, the only thumb rule is avoid during heavy monsoon time, because your field should not be under waterlogged condition. That time you should not put any because of rain waterlogged condition, you don't apply for fertilizer. Otherwise, any time. So monthly interval or 15 days interval you can go for that. Then suppose if you are not going for drip irrigation, then you can go for basin opening. So here you can see that the this method is actually for where the farmers are adopting rainfed. This is more applicable for west coast of the region, because east coast region rainfed is not possible. Only west coast, because where you are getting more than 3000 mm rain, that area only this type of method is recommended. In the basin, the first you have to apply 1 kg of lime, because west coast means soil will be most probably acidic. So in order to correct the acidic soil to temporarily, so that to enhance the nutrient uptake, you apply 1 kg of lime in the vicinity of 2 meter radius, mix it. Then after 15 to 30 days, when you are receiving rain, so you can see clearly the moisture is there, because when you apply that moisture should be there. The thumb rule is when you are applying nutrient, moisture should be there. Then after 15 to 30 days, you apply the required quantity, because when you use rainfed means based on your soil test value, the urea and potash can be divided into 2 splits. The first split, that 1/3 of the recommended dose based on your soil test, can be mixed immediately after the receipt of the monsoon, where coconut is being maintained under rainfed condition. Whereas irrigated conditions, what you have to do, organic manure application, especially most part of the west coast region, what we have to do, open the basin towards the end of the southwest monsoon, preferably after August 15, but before better September 15. Open a basin, then you apply organic manure. Organic manure will be that required quantity will be 30 to 50 kg. Then over that, that based on the soil test value, the remaining 2/3 of fertilizer you apply, cover the soil. This is for rainfed. Whereas irrigated, again open the basin, the monsoon towards the end of the monsoon season, and based on the soil test value, the recommended dose can be divided into 4 equal parts. So that 4 equal parts should be applied once in 3 months, so that organic manure once in a year in the west coast towards the end of southwest monsoon, in the east coast, that what I mean is Tamil Nadu and some part of Andhra, where it is mostly benefited from by northeast monsoon. There you have to go for in the month of October end or November 1st. So this is the method of organic manuring or once in a year must. Here also people may ask, organic manure, I can go for only one side. No, in order to fully reap the benefits of organic manure, you have to go for basin opening. Then natural farming, those farmers, they will raise a question. The question is, we won't apply to open a basin. The objective is, whether you are taking your basin, you have to ensure that nutrients should be thoroughly mixed with the soil. Otherwise, if you are putting as open, means sometime heavy rain, it will be lost out. So one man loss, another man benefit. So whatever things you applied, it may be gone to your neighbor field because of heavy rain. Suppose if it is slopey area also, again the problem. So our advice is open a basin. Then the question will come, where we will get labor cost also increase. So here what you have seen through power tiller, that machine operated power tiller, we have to open a basin. Through that, there also we have to please ensure that on any account the trunk should not be damaged. No mechanical injury to the trunk. So what you have to do, this much area, leave that and plow it. After that, you apply organic manure 30 to 50 kg. So you give some time. But suppose if you miss a dolomite application or lime application in the case of acid soil, and gypsum application in the case of pH is more than 7 points, alkaline soil. So first you apply, then mix it. After that, you apply green manure, then apply over that chemical fertilizer. Then after that, biofertilizer over that 10. You have to give the break, and these are the things of basic requirement. And plus what we have to do, please farmer friends, what you have to do, trichoderma enriched with the coconut cake, that also you have to apply your coconut palm per palm 5 kg. That will take care of your stem bleeding as well as Canoderma as a protective measure. So while ensuring that enriched trichoderma coconut cake, manure production, what you have to do, take 100 kg salt-free neem cake, powder it, mix it with 1 kg trichoderma culture, and thoroughly mix it. You sprinkle water, so you test it that by hand whether it is like puttu. It should not be too loose, too hard. So that ensure that. Then over that you put gunny bag. Then you have to sprinkle water daily. After 3 days, some greeny patches are then your trichoderma started multiplication. So after 15 days, one stirring up you give, then after 30 days it will be ready. Then along with this apply, your full package is over. So you will get surely based on if your systematic mean you ensure that 150 nuts to 200 nuts. That organic manure, either you can green manure, farmyard manure, biogas slurry, vermicompost, goat manure, poultry manure, myth manure. But the thumb rule is green manure you can apply as a fresh. Whereas in the case of manure from animals, cow or goat, especially poultry, on any account you should not use fresh organic manures. Always ensure that 3 to 5 months old rotten or composted manure only you have to use. You have to wait for 3 to 5 months, especially poultry manure. You are not, even if you are getting from somebody may tell it is already 3 months old, don't believe that. Even if you are getting from somewhere else, you keep it in your garden under shade. After 5 months only you apply. So CPCRA has developed a very simple technology. 1 hectare of coconut garden, it produces coconut leaves in the range of 4 to 5 tons. That coconut leaves you can able to make a compost either in the trench or basin within 90 days. That compost also you can use 30 kg to the farm. Then very simple but innovative, but most of the farmers they are not preferring. The thing is, these things you won't see the benefits through your naked eyes. It will be knowing unknowing that your unknown is only, because this will be like a fixed deposit. Growing green mini crop in the basin, it will be a fixed deposit. It won't give the immediate benefit slowly. So please ensure that in the basin, some 100 grams leguminous green mini crops immediately after the receipt of monsoon. So you grow either Pururia, cowpea, Sannam, Kasaragod, Danger according to the soil type, soil pH. You grow that within 30 days, you will get 30 to 50 kg green manure in the garden itself that can be flowed back into the system. So these are some of the photographs. What are the common green mini crops? Again, please ensure that according to pH. Cowpea is widely adopted any pH. In the case of Sannam, it will always perform better more than 6 or 7, whereas Danger also more than 7. Your cowpea, it will cowpea, Pururia, Calapogonium, Mykonos, those things perform better below pH 7. So according to the pH only you have to choose your green mini crop. Suppose if you are going for a monocrop, then entire area per hectare you can go for 100 kg leguminous crop, either cowpea, Danger, Mimosa or Sannam, any crops according to your soil type you can grow, so that you can easily get 10 to 15 tons of green biomass in the garden itself. This, if you are going for monocrop, means yearly thrice you can go for green manure, flow back the system. So you need not go for any urea application. You can skip. Similarly, the most important, the biofertilizer also, preferably location specific, through group approach, through farmers group approach, FPOs, you can collect that strain, the particular species, that consortia from the local soil, multiply that, and especially azoospermum as well as phosphobacterium, that will good for your coconut garden. Then it is always as a perennial crops, better you should not wait for the symptoms develop, because once perennial crops started to showing symptom means it is always almost reached the ICU conditions. So don't wait for the palm started to showing symptom as far as the perennial crops concerned. Say example, the short duration crops, the moment the paddy is showing some yellowing means okay, you apply nitrogen and potash and urea, next day itself it will be recovered. But here these fellows, it won't show that symptom immediately. It will be a hidden hunger, so that till it will adjust. But once shown the symptom means then it is almost reached ICU condition. Then after that, even whatever effort means it is all luck only. So that I'm showing the sake of for the showing the symptoms. Otherwise, you should see that you apply your manure properly, correctly after days. Don't wait for your palm showing the symptom. At the same time, on any account, don't go for so many nutrient patterns. Correct nutrients only you have to apply. Here some of the see, you can see potassium is the dominant nutrient, nitrogen symptom, magnesium symptom, and most importantly, this is the typical symptom people will might be showing that the spindle leaf, you see the spindle leaf, it cannot be able to open. That is because of boron, because boron is highly immobile, so that once it is reaching here, it cannot go back. So that's why boron nutrition you can deficiency we can see in the new leaves or in the reproductive part. You can see husk will be there. Once opening husk, nothing will be there. Button shedding, both because of zinc as well as boron. So to ensure thing this should not happen, you go for always organic manure application plus chemical fertilizer. The initial period, suppose in fact of things, if you are observing these things, then you rectify that to go for 100 gram borax at a 3-month interval. Since how long? If you are, because if the palms is suffering because of boron, once you apply borax, it will start a response immediately. That means your palms are suffering from boron, but still it is not completed. Then what you have to do? Again repeat another 3 months. So every 3 months interval, we can go for till the symptoms get rectified, provided the first dose it should respond. Some response is there, and assure that it is a boron deficiency. Then you repeat it every 3 months interval. Don't go for more dose, 100 gram borax, and maximum within 4 doses, it will, first dose itself it will be rectified, maximum 4 doses it will be rectified. So coconut, what I'm telling, very simple. as far as the coconut is concerned, most importantly, potash is the most important. That point especially perennial crops, it is potassium oriented. Whereas the short duration crops, it is nitrogen oriented. Because short duration crops, growth is more important. Perennial crops, sustainability is because years, 100 years are there. So they are not only growth. First of all, it's survival. So for that, you will potash. On any account, perennial crops, more important, you have to potash only. Short duration crop, nitrogen. So that you can see any perennial crop for the normal blanket recommendation. For the, in the case of coconut, for one coconut palm where you are getting 100 nuts, you have to give 2 kg potash, 1 kg nitrogen, 1 kg urea. That means 500 gram nitrogen, 300 gram, 320 gram phosphorus, 1200 gram potash. To meet this, 2 kg of MOP, 1 kg of urea, and 2 kg of single super part. But this is a blanket recommendation. Please, I am telling, don't go for this blanket recommendation. You go for soil test once in 3 years too. Based on that only, you have to apply nutrition. And as this already I explained, if you want to go for
Dr. Subramanian?
Yes, madam.
I'm sorry to interrupt. We already crossed 4:10. It is now. Can we take up some questions?
Yes, please. I will before that I will just show the photographs, the cropping system.
You have to manually change it. We are not able to see it. Change the slide manually.
Changing, huh? Oh. Sureka?
You manually select and change.
Now it is okay, madam. Manually it is there now. Visible?
No, it's not. I mean, slide is not changed.
Oh. Now?
Yeah, now changed.
Now it is there, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. I will show pass on the slides. Okay,
there are some around 10 questions. We have to quickly take.
This just 1 minute. I will please see the photographs. Already I explained. This cropping system. You can go any crops, absolutely no problem. Cocoa is the ideal, pepper is the ideal one, and integrated farming system. Okay. Harvesting, and through coconut we can be able to get around 100 products. It's economically, and most importantly virgin coconut oil and your Nira, that's having lot of potential, because that value addition itself we have to take one more class, each and everything. Okay, now this adapting all these things in a holistic manner, definitely that 150 I'm telling average 150 to 250 nuts. Not only nuts, your nut should have the copra content of more than 150 gram. It is easily achievable. Thank you. Now I am please will be happy to receive questions so that it will helpful for our research purpose also.
Yes.
Please.
Okay, so the first question is, in which part of India the highest production of coconut?
Madam, that's what I have told. See, if we are seeing that now based on the statistics, now Tamil Nadu is in the area is also Tamil Nadu is the leading one, productivity. Okay. But if we are seeing the efforts, input, those things, they are high, much higher. Even they are drawing water more than 1,000 feet. So because of their effort, otherwise the potential area, what I will say, West Coast only. Okay.
And next question is, where is the best practices of coconut farming if we want to view? One of our participants is asking.
Please, madam, please repeat the question.
Where is the best practices of coconut farming if we want to view?
Oh, just they want to see.
Yes.
I think then I will invite our CPCRA, Central Plantation Crop Research Institute, Kasaragod. They can come, they can see all the models what we have developed, and they will get first-hand information. Not only they will be trained. So if anybody is interested to start a new coconut plantation, or if they want to have the existing plantation to improve the yield, CPCRA is ready to give the technology. Similarly, throughout India, state agriculture university is also there. But okay, all the things, the headquarters is CPCRA only. So if possible, Kasaragod they can come, or otherwise I will tell Tamil Nadu means especially Vepangulam, Aliyar Nagar, as well as Aliyar Nagar, Pollachi, as well as Tanjavur area. And in the case of Karnataka, Arsikere, in the case of Andhra, Ambajipeta, in Maharashtra, it is Ratnagiri, and Gujarat, Navsari. In the case of Orissa, Bhubaneswar. Then in the case of West Bengal, Mondori, like that there. In addition, Coconut Development Board, they are also having their farm throughout India. In Tamil Nadu, it is Udumalipet, it is there. In Karnataka, it is Mandya is there. Likewise, Andhra, all along the major coconut growing regions. So Coconut Development Board sites also there. SAO is there. And at least once, a real coconut farmer, please make a visit to CPCRA Kasaragod.
Okay. Next question is, does India exports coconut?
Yeah, actually, that it is exporting, madam, but it means exporting in the form of that 5 product that they are there. But compared to Philippines, Indonesia, Thailand, our condition is not up to the level. Even we can say byproduct, higher product, even virgin coconut oil, even coconut sugar. But if you are seeing the world level, our export level is less. And most of the things we only consume. So in order to coconut farming, coconut enterprise is more viable, we have to encourage export in the form of byproducts. There are so many things are there, so that we have to, for that, we have to go for scientifically, that everything, what I can, what that export demands, good agriculture practices, everything. Then only you can have a export potential. So there is a lot of potential as far as the India is concerned. Still, it is unexplored. That's what I can say.
Okay. And other than India, other than in India, in which other countries coconut is grown?
Madam, one thing very sure that, as I told, near the equatorial area where the temperature is humid tropics, that is more suitable. And most from the beginning, I told coconut is even area-wise productive is also, it is much higher than India and some. Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Sri Lanka, Thailand. Of course, now it is Vietnam is taking everywhere. The area is taking Vietnam also, Asian countries along the coastal area. That area and near the equator. Those areas, coconut is coming in a large scale.
Okay. And what is the lifespan of a coconut tree?
I will say that coconut is synonymous with the human being. So every human being would like to live 100 years with free from all things. So coconut tall varieties 100, but economically, what I can say that 60 years. In the case of tall varieties, 60 years. In the case of dwarf, it is 40 years.
Okay. And in an acre, how many seedlings can be sowed?
Yes, madam. That's what I have told very beginning very clearly. If your idea is that only monocrop, then you can go for 7.5 meter or 8 meter. That means per acre, it will be 70 seedlings. Suppose in the changing climate changing environment and we need more crops, more area, single area, more crops, and you have to go for diversification system. Then to meet the challenge of climatic condition, better you can go for cropping system approach. In that case, I will recommend a 10 meter by 10 meter system that paints per acre 40 seedlings per acre.
Okay. One of our participants is asking, and Caribbean islands also coconuts can be cultivated?
Yes, madam. That's what I'm telling. All along the coast, because if I'm selling natural capital, it means coastal area only. Thing is, we can naturally humid the humid climate along the coastal naturally coconut will.
Okay. Let me see. There are some around 3-4 questions, but since we have running short of time, I am not able to take them up. So now we have come to end of question round. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, we like to thank you for a very detailed presentation and answering all the questions. And we also like to thank all the participants for joining this meeting. The meeting will now be closed.
So thank you very much for aggregating information. My behalf and my CPCR, ICR, CPCRI for giving me a wonderful opportunity for sharing my experience in coconut with you, that stakeholders. And I again thank our director, ICR, that Anita Granmar for giving me the opportunity. And again, once again, I'm uniting all the coconut growers and lovers. Please make a visit to CPCRI. My email ID is I have mentioned here. If anything is required, you can contact. Not only you can see CPCRI website also. We CPCRI people always ready to welcome you. Thank you.
You're most welcome, sir. Thank you.